Yeah. I mean, it's going out exactly how I figured it would go. Actually, no, I didn't expect it to go this way at all. What I did expect was for it to be competitive. Can everybody actually say that? You know what? I'm announcing my retirement. My retirement from this entire debate, Admiral versus Yanko. Like, we gonna have our fun over this break because it's a break week, unfortunately. But after this break week, that's it. It's done. It's no point. It's useless. It's silly. It really doesn't matter. But we gonna have fun today. Now, One Piece chapter 1093, Kizaru versus Luffy. Now, it'd have been great if that's the entire thing. That was the entire thing going on in this chapter. But Oda's a clickbait. I told you he's a really good YouTuber. A really good one, because he got me. And overall, this chapter, it was cool. Let's get to it, though. Let's get to it. But the chapter picks up where it left off. Here's the thing, though. It's funny because, like, I said that before. Somebody's like, that's what happens typically with the next chapter. Shut up. No, it's not. You know, in One Piece, sometimes we leave off in one spot and Oda comes back in another spot. Don't do that. This chapter, the first couple pages reminded me of Toy Story. Luffy picked up Kizaru, looked at him, smiled, and said, I don't want to play with you anymore. It was sad. Now, why did he throw him away? You have your enemy right in your face and you throw him away. Like, you don't even throw him directly into the water. You just throw him away. Which, like, I don't know, that's like having somebody in a chokehold, right? And then just for no reason, just pushing them. Like, get off me. It was just wonky a little bit, but that's Gear 5, right? So that set us up for the next things that happened in this chapter, because, yo, he throws Kizaru away, and I'm like, yo, what's about to happen? And we go to Kizaru, he's just,
A few minutes later.
I'm about to hit the water. I guess I can try again now. It's like a troll off, because Kizaru sent Luffy flying. Luffy sends Kizaru flying. Now he's like, all right, let's show this young whippersnapper how it's done. Comes back, and we don't want to underrate that attack by Kizaru. I'm sure a lot of people caught it, but let me let you catch it again. Kizaru, that's Akane no Magatama, which is his attack when he does that, and he just fires all the light pellets. He spams it. Like, Oda does not want to show off his moves, so he just spams that attack every single time in the movie versus Marco. This happens over and over again. This time he uses that move, but then he assimilates with the light pellets, which I mean, I didn't think that he couldn't do it. It's just not something I never thought he would do. Nuts. So he does that, right? Ding! Assimilates, duplicates, and now he's attacking Luffy. Pulls out the blade. Ugh. If I was a swordman, I would just pull out my blade randomly just because it's cool. Yeah, I'd do that. Kizaru did that. And, you know, I presume that's when he's going to start taking things serious. Oh, Luffy, you in trouble now. You in trouble now, Luffy. Yeah, we gotta go back to the first part when Luffy's about to throw him away. It's like, I was like, what's going on here, Gramps? What's going on here, Unc? Sounded a little freaky, like a freaky frog. He said, hey now, be gentle with me. My man, oh, yo, chill out. Relax. He said all that. And I was like, okay, cool. I guess that's what we're doing here. Let's get back to the chapter. Let's fast forward again. Kizaru comes back, blades out. I'm thinking Oda's about to start taking things seriously. Okay, Oda, this is what we've been waiting for. In the Kaido fight, it started off Luffy doing a bunch of shenanigans. Right? I saw something that said, if he lets somebody shenan one time, you know what happened? They're gonna shenan again. And Luffy is shenanigan. Aside from all the shenanigans, I expected for Luffy to start taking things seriously. Like in the Kaido fight, when he grabbed the lightning, that's like, okay, now the tides are turning, right? This is the time where it's gonna turn. And Kaido started taking things seriously, because Kaido, he turned up. I was like, all right, Kizaru's about to turn up. Let's go. But yeah, he wasn't even there, bro. Yo, I keep seeing people say, Luffy isn't even using Advanced Conqueror's Haki, bro. Bro, Kizaru isn't even using himself. But they both playing around. However, you can't deny that the Admiral looks pretty impressive, doesn't he? Was it beyond your expectations? Maybe it is. Beyond mine, though. I still think Luffy's stronger than this man, but an Admiral with a lot of experience, mind you, Borsalino, he's the oldest Admiral. The oldest one. A lot of experience there, and it shows. Because the professionalism, we're not gonna overlook that. A lot of professionalism happening here. Luffy's not even the goal. Like, as all the history aside, me putting my foot in your back, yo, it's not about y'all right now, right? I got a mission to do. And I love that about Kizaru. It is actually very refreshing. Like, even Rob Lucci, the man that's all about the mission, he got emotional and attacked Yonko without prior approval. Kizaru was battling a Yonko and he's like, bro, I'm not even here for you, dog. Hold these clones. Let me go choke up this black man really quick. Probably shouldn't have said that. Just gonna move right along past that. But Kizaru did that. He did. And he left Luffy with his clones to play with. And then he just went on about it. He's not there for Luffy. However, Luffy's there. So you gotta figure it out regardless. We do have a new mission. Getting away from the Luffy and Kizaru thing, we'll get back to it. The new mission is to basically rewrite the orders for the Pacifista, because Vegapunk is saying, yo, if we take the barrier down, once the barrier is down, we're gonna get like obliterated by the lasers, because remember, Kizaru took over them, right? So now it's just It's a game of back and forth in the fight and outside of the fight. Bonnie got involved in some weird stuff in this chapter and the stuff she got involved in revolves around her age. Now, Bonnie, from what I remember, she like in her 20s, mid-20s, right? And Oda, how he draws her as a mature woman. Of course, he draws her as a kid sometimes, but we all presume it's because of her power. But people are jumping to conclusions here and saying that we got to watch out because some allegations may be coming down the pike. And I'm like, what are y'all talking about? There's nothing, I didn't do anything. But let me tell you what people are reading a lot into. Too much into, I think. Personally, I think so. I'm jumping hella forward, but Vegapunk basically says he can't stand by while a little girl gets murdered, showing some form of humanity, right? Oppenheimer is finally showing that he has a heart. Okay, I know he's not technically that, but he is that. So he's showing a heart and he's saying that, yo, I can't let her get murdered. But he said, I can't let a little girl get murdered. And a lot of people are like, whoa, bro, I've seen you react to her pictures, jail. I'm like, wait. Don't you guys think we're jumping the gun a bit here? Yes, Vegapunk called her a little girl, but he's as old as dirt, right? He was here before our forefathers. He established the dawn, all right? He created the devil fruits, right? He established the world government, okay? He was here before Norland, right? He wrote about Ryuma, okay? Not necessarily, right? But he's old. He's pretty damn old. So for him, everybody's a kid. Whitebeard called Sakazuki a child, a brat. Sakazuki was in his 50s. I think we're reading too much into it. I think he called Frankie a kid as well in a previous chapter. That's just how they talk. Yo, Guzo. Yeah, stop. That's enough. Cut it out. Finish. Cease. End. Un momento. Stop. What are we doing? Let's not make it weird. Because people then saying, well, Oda drew Bonnie as a do. I listen, are you really concerned or is it a gotcha? You trying to be like, well, gotcha, Oda. Gotcha being a creep again. You really didn't need us to know Oda was a little creepy now. A little creepy freak. Freaky frog. Either way, I don't think it's that. I think Bonnie's an actual adult. She just has a power that can turn her into a little girl, but Vegapunk looks at her as a little girl because to him, she's a little girl. And he probably saw her grow up. And a further explanation of it is when we saw Kuma's flashback, or like the flashback of Kuma. Kuma was holding up a little girl. We presume it's Bonnie, more than likely. Then confirmed it's Bonnie. And she looks like a little girl. Looks nothing like that little girl we saw when we first started Egghead in that Eddie. Enough. Michael Jackson meme, put it down, rest. Anyway, let's jump back a little bit. Yo, this barrier, it seemed like Bonnie got kicked into the barrier as well. I'm pretty sure it looked like she was on fire and she took damage from the barrier. Now, this barrier damaged the Yonko, so Bonnie, she must be extraordinarily powerful. Jokes. But Bonnie, she fell to the bottom and then she's turning people into kids and into grown men, right? Just spam it. And, there is a time limit on her powers. We really don't know what it is yet, but she's then thinking back to how she actually survived. Because after the barrier, she was just free falling like Kaido. And Sentomaru got up, right? Like Sanji with the lighter. It was like, yo, get out of here. The Marines are coming. Like Sentomaru. My bad, Sentomaru. I didn't know if he was a man or a woman at the beginning of the story. Now I know. That's a man. You got a dog in you. You got that fire in you because Kizaru lit your ass up. But nah, Bonnie, you can tell Bonnie was like kind of grew up around a lot of these people because they really care about her. Even Kizaru. I mean, it could have been worse, to be honest. Kicking her into the barrier is not better. It's not great, right? But it could have been worse. Could be much worse. In the midst of all this, right? Like Luffy, after throwing Kizaru away, he don't got nothing to do, right? It's almost like when you throw your ball and you lose it for a little while. Now you're like, I gotta find something to do. You see your little brothers playing. You're like, yo, can I play? They're like, nah, man. Like we in the middle of an intense marble game. So Luffy's like, whatever. That's Zoro and Rob Lucci. Zoro and Rob Lucci are going at it. Remember they jumped out the window the last chapter or chapter before that? I don't know. These breaks, they messing me up, dog. Jumped out the window. And so Luffy seen them going at it. Or Rob Lucci. Yo, who's stronger? You know what I'm saying? Luffy's like, yo, you need some help? He's like, bro, like, chill, relax. You don't need to do this, right? Because this dude ain't that strong. And Lucci's like, ooh, I wonder, right? The right hand of a Yonko will be a great consolation prize. Where Rob Lucci seemed like he has subjected himself or somewhat come to terms with the fact that he's going to fight the number 2. Like, he doesn't want any smoke with Luffy. He lost very overwhelmingly. So now he's like, I guess I'll take a Yonko's number 2. And I'm like, wait, I thought you said he wasn't a Yonko. But how I perceived it is he was somewhat saying, okay, if people are gonna say that you're a Yonko, I'm gonna take the number 2's head because that's probably, it's not as valuable, but it is valuable, you know? It's not necessarily one of those moments where, man, Zoro's really strong. I understand why Luffy is the captain. It's not that. that moment may be coming, but that's not what this moment is. I don't think it's interpreted as that at all. But that wasn't even the main discussion about this chapter, what Lucci meant. No, in this specific encounter, the main discussion was about whether or not Zoro's using advanced Conqueror's Haki. And I'm gonna tell you right now, right? I'm gonna tell you right damn now. I don't know. And I honestly, that gotta be a separate video. I'm gonna go research advanced Conqueror's Haki because at certain times I don't know, because we had the same conversation back then when Kobe used his attack, his honesty impact. Did he use advanced Conqueror's Haki? When he saw his little fist and a little black, is that advanced Conqueror's Haki? Right? Now Zoro, he got the flames, the King of Hell flames on his blade. Is that advanced Conqueror's Haki? Is that a subset of advanced Conqueror's Haki? Is that just an adverse effect? I don't know. Haki, it can be confusing, right? And I talk about One Piece frequently. Imagine people that just read One Piece and go about their day. They're not reading comments. They're not going back and rereading chapters. They're not on Twitter. They just read One Piece, right, every week and go back and, just go back to plumbing, go back to pipes, right? Not thinking about One Piece till the next week. Maybe they think about it every now and again, especially with the live action being so successful. That's what they do. And so Haki's confusing because I want to say it is, but then I'm not definitive on that. Like, he has a King of Hell mode inspired by his unlocking of usage of Enma, but him being the Demon King. I don't know, man. I don't know. You can leave below if you think whether or not it's Advanced Conquerors or not. I'll look into it. Advanced Conquerors is very distinct. What I'm thinking, what's happening is that people are going to unlock Advanced Conquerors, and it could be a subset or adverse effects from them unlocking that, where they can tap into different powers through that method. I don't know. I'm talking on my ass right now because I'm just making shit up, but that's what we do sometimes, right? We're just making things up based on, because we don't understand it. It's kind of like when we talk about One Piece, how strong characters are. We don't know how strong they are. We just make it up. Either way, Rob, Lucci, and Zoro, one of those fights that we've always thought about, it's happening. And, it's going as we would expect. Zoro's using his King of Hell Flames and Rob Lucci's in his awakening form. However, Zoro does not have his black bandana yet. So black Air Force energy, black man energy is not being channeled yet. Zoro is not yet going all out. Now, I gotta point this out, right? Because some people didn't have a problem with Kizaru making light clones. And I'm like, bro, if you read One Piece and you got a problem with someone making light clones, which is something that's not that crazy with light, I think, right? Not that crazy. But Doflamingo pulled out a string clone literally out his ass. Perfect copy. Perfect combos against Luffy. Did that bother you? Did it? What about the fact that we have a talking Tanuki? Bro, we are reading One Piece. We can't say nothing makes sense. Luffy is a god running on air that is eating light for dinner. What do you mean it doesn't make sense? What does? I'm confused. Again, Kizaru's just trying to delay Luffy. Bro, take him seriously. But for the most, they're both like two peas in a pod. Because it's a funny fight. It's just not a hype fight, right? It's just like, I think we're taking it for granted though. Because I felt myself taking it for granted. What I mean is, we got Kizaru and Luffy right here, right? And we're like, man, why they not taking it seriously? I'm like, bro, we got Kizaru and Luffy right here. But I think part of it is the expectation we have for that fight. We thought this fight would be just explosive, just boom, boom, boom. Like they just throwing hands, going back and forth. We got a chapter of that in Gear 4th. Gear 5th is a whole different animal, and we saw that. It's gonna get there. Just give us some time, bro. Give us some time. Again, the Admiral versus Yonko debate is stupid. Stupid. They're meant to fight each other. They're built to fight each other. They're created to fight each other. The world government created other factions because they don't want to just fight them. They want to overwhelm. They want to be in control. But the Admirals, they're as strong. They can hold their own. Not saying they're stronger than the Yonko, because I don't believe that. I don't believe all the Admirals are stronger than the Yonko. I'm going to say it again. For the stupid heads, the average Yonko will be stronger than the average Admiral. However, we will have Admirals like, I think, Sakazuki that could be stronger than a couple of the Yonko. Not include Buggy, because we know what it is there. But you're going to put some respect on these Admirals' names, specifically today, the Yellow Monkey, because he's all over Luffy's ass today. Banana up there. Either way, here's a critique. If y'all mad, I don't care. I'm getting tired of the eyes popping out, gang. Getting tired of it. Getting tired of it. In moments in the anime, I love it because it's like, it's free will and remind me of the cartoons I used to watch. In One Piece, like I like it, right? I don't like it. I ain't gonna lie. I don't like it. It's getting old. It's gotten old real quick. Like every single thing is like eyes popping out, eyes popping out, eyes popping out. And a couple of times in this chapter, I'm like, oh, it is. Holy shit. Can we stop? And again, I understand this is Gear 5 and I know, but something that I found interesting for all the stuff that's happening here, right? With Luffy and the buffoonery, the tomfoolery that Gear 5 is. Yo, check this out. Kizaru ain't falling for none of that shit. Kizaru eyes ain't popping out. His BBL ain't expanding and exploding, right? None of that is happening. Kizaru is like just still calm, chilling, no exaggerated stuff has been happening with him. Unless I missed it, it looked like even if it's because everybody, with Gear 5 and Nika, it somewhat affects your surroundings too. Like the people around you start getting affected. Kizaru so far, he's chilling. Now people try to use the argument as far as like Kizaru's coming after Kaido. Of course he's going to be strong. I don't think that's how it works. We're going to give Kaido his just due because Kaido is a monster. Not just literally, but I guess literally. But he is literally and figuratively, he is a monster. And I don't want to hear nothing about how Kaido lost to Luffy. You watched the fight, or if you didn't watch the fight, you're just a box score watcher. You just look at the box score after the game. You didn't even actually watch the game. You didn't watch the highlights. Just a box score. If you watch the game, you know what happened. If you just look at the box score, like, Luffy took that W, just like Luffy versus Katakuri. If you got to look at the box score, Luffy won. Yeah. But if you watch that game, you like, nah, no way, Jose. No way, Dero. Luffy lost. But he got the dub at the end of the day. So I guess that's what matters. We got some more that's going on in this chapter though, and I think it's pretty significant. Something I want to point out too. Is it a coincidence that we saw Imu eat fire, eat flame, and now we're seeing Luffy eat light? I mean, I don't know if Oda's trying to set up the dichotomy, right? The parallels there where we got one eating fire, one eating light. It would have been dope if it was like one eating darkness, one eating light, but either way, it's interesting though, right? But eating fire is even more dope because that's like Imu's the devil. Like that background, that surrounding, that setting looked like he was a devil and his demons were around him. So now he's eating fire. But Luffy, the sun god, Joy Boy, the dawn, he's eating light. Ooh. Oda was in his bag with that one. Or is that just Brago making connections? I don't know. I think that's flames though, pun intended. Final part of the chapter. Again, it's like they're trading the same player back and forth in fantasy football. The pacifista, they're like, the pacifista, the key to the game. If the pacifista go off, we win. And it doesn't move me. I'm not gonna lie. The pacifista, I've been moved past him ever since Sabaody. After Luffy did what he did to them, 1 clock, bang, I was past him. I'm not gonna lie to you. However, the new mission of the pacifista is to eradicate every last Marine on the island. They gonna get folded. Not all of them, obviously, but I think some of the vice admirals gonna get their shine here. But we didn't end off the chapter on just that. We ended off the chapter with Saturn, the man that they said scared Luffy. Now Saturn, he either looks high or he's concerned. I'm gonna lean towards concerned. Destroy every last Marine on the island. I'm assuming his ship gonna get like blown up or something, and he's gonna have to escape the ship, Geppo, and he's gonna be there. Luffy gonna be like, yo, who's that man with the bad hat and the locks? Why you got dreads, bro? I think that's what's gonna happen, but we don't get to see it until week after next because there's a break next week. Good chapter. Good chapter, nothing phenomenal necessarily. I mean, Kizaru's abilities, they're amazing. I mean, Luffy as well. Like, he's just casually eating light. I mean, how do you beat that? I mean, I don't even know. But good chapter. I enjoyed it. I can't wait for the next one, 1094. Bruh, Oda's in his bag. He's been that way since Egghead. Honestly, towards the end of Wano. Yeah, man. Like, subscribe. We're going to talk about Advanced Conquerors later this week for sure, because I don't even know what it is. I mean, I know what it is, but I don't know when it is. It is.